By far, the biggest thing the coronavirus has taught me about other people, simply from looking at the media, because everyone who's making media right now is locked in their house, is the amount of time it'll take until people start complaining about going to beaches. Do you know how little I think about beaches outside of just an abstracted art form in which, the characters are partaking in a beach because of a very specific, highly abstracted reality that they exist in, that I, as a self-aware person, can say, "Oh, I'm not there." I'm watching a cartoon or whatever the fuck it is. I mean, if you take anime for existence, the abstraction goes so far that the fact that there's a beach scene in an anime is actually connected to the metatext of anime as a medium, which has beaches in shows for the sake of fan service, to where even if you don't put fan service or just a shot that's attempting to allure you in that way, in your show, your mind is inevitably going to connect it to that because it happens to be a beach that's in anime, especially if, the show has like moe characters in it, or is highly, you know, hyper realistic in a way that's not overly dark. You just sort of get a sense of what all the characters look like. It could be any number of styles that are commonly correlated to this in anime, but there's a number of things going on that would bring out, the image of the beach as this, fan servicey place that's in this medium. I'm thinking about all those different things when I see a beach depicted in media. Because anime is probably where I'm going to see it, or like a video game. Oh, top 10 beach levels in games. You get the point. Um, and so, like, when I hear about the idea that beaches are a thing people go to, I'm immediately floored. I'm like, well, I like, I'm not exactly floored at seeing it, but like, it surprises me that I'm hearing it, and I'm thinking about all of these. I'm immediately start connecting it to all of these other things. Um, and none of them are the fact that normal people go to them. Like, my connection to the concept is just so abstracted that I forget that real people go to them. So when I see these people on the news complaining about the fact that they can't go to the beach, when I see these complaints on the news, uh, showing all these people at the beach, not following stay-at-home orders and stuff like that, or as a sign of reopening, this is telling me beaches are a real thing that people go to. And like, on some level in your head, you realize that, but you don't reckon with it. That's where that surprised reaction comes from, is that you don't have to reckon with it, that these are things people want to do. And that's how far removed I am from any normal thing people want to do. Like, I never leave the house. I almost never want to leave the house unless I'm going out to walk or smoke or something. Like, there's no reason for me to go out of the house. Like, the times when I do want to go out of the house, it's all night walking. So my version of reality outside, and the very few times that I actually go outside, are entirely separate from the experiences of other people. Um, and it's bizarre. It's so bizarre looking at people want to go to movie theaters, question mark. People want to go outside, question mark. People want to go to the beach, question mark, question mark. Like, what is any of this stuff? I forget that these places are places that exist, and when I do remember them, it's in such an abstracted form that I have no conception of it similar to what any normal person would be thinking, would be having themselves. They're thinking of it as like, these are a utility, these are things that we do. What the fuck? Why would I ever want to leave my house? Literally, my house has everything that I could ever want. It's so confusing to me. And people look at me like I'm the confusing one. I don't understand what these people want. I don't understand why they do the things that they do. None of it makes sense to me. I just want to stay inside. And this is why I'm thought of as like a dick by people, or like an asshole, because in conversations, I'll be like quickly scooting the conversation along for me to leave so I can go back to my room. And everyone thinks that's a stupid behavior. That's what assholes do. Because they think you have a social obligation to talk to them or to, have an interaction. And I may acknowledge that that social obligation exists for a lot of people. I just don't care because I'm prioritizing what I would like to do the most. And I think either because they don't realize that I just like being alone that much, they'll get mad, or it's because they think I'm so annoyed by them that I would rather be alone, which to them again is a bad thing. I have no conception of it as a bad thing. That's why like the the different degrees in understanding are so far away from one another that it creates these inherent conflicts even in the most basic interactions. And they ask me why I don't want to be a hikikomori. Looking at this video back, I said at the end why I don't want to be a hikikomori. No, it's why I do. The reason why I say why I do, and they ask me why I want to be a hikikomori. Well, the reason why is because of it's communication errors like this that just cause awkward, bad interactions that don't make any sense. Um, and I have media I like to consume. I just want to consume forever.